Good morning, guys. If you get any audio, please let me know. Just opening up the stream. I'm going to let some of this film run. Till some people start to join in. Hopefully the audio doesn't sound too awful. I'm in an enclosed room that is not really suited for streaming purposes. I'm going to go over some of these plays in more detail as the stream picks up here. And once you get audio, please let me know. Don C, what's up, man? How you doing? Can you hear me okay? If you can hear me okay, Don, or anybody else that's joining in, please let me know. This is going to be a stream on Justin Houston and Josh Bynes. It's going to last about an hour. I have seen most of these plays, to be honest with you, previously, but I have not edited this. I'm doing this kind of now. Mr. Black God, thank you, man. A new username. So appreciate you joining, Don. Appreciate you joining, man. All right, thank you guys for letting me know. I'm just setting some of this up real quick. Look, I don't know about you, but I am so happy that they brought back Justin Houston, and to the same, not to the same degree necessarily, because we needed Justin Houston with all the injuries, to other guys and all the instability there at outside linebacker. But there's going to be a portion of this that's going to be about Josh Bynes as well here at the end. And if you watch any of my channel, you know that I'm a huge fan of Josh Bynes for a good reason. Underrated football player. Give me 1 second, guys, and we're going to get this started. Who's that? You mean Justin Houston or Bynes? I think they both are. I mean, Houston's interesting. There's still a lot of good there. I mean, and the film's going to show that today. And I'm not going to be exaggerating it. Yeah. No. I think that's a great way to put it. That he's a dirty work guy. I mean, he does a lot of things right. There's a lot of things that he does right, and I think he also understands who he is at this point in terms of the style of rushes that he uses. Obviously we're all enamored with sacks, right? And we all want as many sacks as possible. We want as many strip sacks as possible. Justin Houston gives us a little bit more than just, sacks, QB pressures. He is a different type of rusher than certain guys. I mean, we're in the AFC North, so unfortunately, we have to see T.J. Watt twice and Myles Garrett twice. Those guys, Watt's obviously a speed rusher who uses other rushes as his counter. Garrett is a little bit. To say Garrett is more balanced is not the right word. He's more of a classic D end who isn't as reliant on the speed rush. When I say that, I certainly don't mean Watt's other moves aren't good. They're fantastic. Houston is different, though. Houston does not establish the speed rush early. All right, I'm ready to go here, guys. I'm going to start with this film. Houston does not establish the speed rush early. By the way, does my audio sound really bad? I can adjust it as needed. We're going to look at Houston's run plays first. Okay. Well, I think I've got about an hour here, maybe a little less. And the idea here is to separate. I like to do this in my videos. I like to separate them into concept. So the first one is going to be run plays that start off away from him. Okay. So, generally the back is going to be working away from him, and all the offensive line is going to be working away from him. So as a coach, as a person who tries to evaluate film, I have to mentally separate things. So there's a lot going on here. I have to separate things to really try to understand something. So you got the back going away. You got the quarterback now, going to boot off in the opposite direction, obviously, and you have what looks like to me Tyreek Hill in motion coming at him. So there's a lot happening. Justin Houston just can't, he just can't take off to hit Patrick Mahomes in the mouth. We'd like that. We'd like to see us knock him down some. He just can't take off down the line of scrimmage after the running back because he doesn't know, who has the ball. So he's got to kind of settle for a moment. Some people say, go slow until you know, and then explode. And he's still got that explosion, if you ask me. I slowed that down, obviously, for you guys to see it, but I think he's still got more than enough explosion once he sees things. And you can see he's really good at this. Like, no matter whether the ball is given or the quarterback has it, Justin Houston is normally in the right place on these plays. There was one play against the Vikings where he, I don't want to say played it wrong, but he just made the wrong choice. Cincinnati week 7, same concept, running back going away from him. Mixon tries to cut it back. There's Houston, to make the tackle on the backside. I firmly believe that if Joe Burrow kept this football and booted out here, that Houston will be able to put his left foot in the ground at some point and then run at an angle to at least pressure him as he tries to make a throw. Hopefully, the way I'm saying this makes sense. So, that's how the game works. It's either run to you, run away from you, or it's pass. That's the only three things that it can really be. So I'm going to show you run away first. In this case, the back is going to go away from him, but they're going to try to scoop him with this receiver. Is this Lazard, number 13? Is that who this is? Is that who that is? Lazard, number 13? Good player, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of insulting to think that he's going to get in here and be able to scoop Justin Houston. You can't keep him away. You got to give the right. You got to have someone with the appropriate amount of power and skill to block him. This is an absolute mismatch, even at his age. And Houston gets in there and makes the play. Audio sounds good. Thank you, Don. I got a little bit of a lag in the chat, but thank you. Appreciate that. Another run play away. I think I show multiple plays from the Green Bay game. Same situation. The tackle's just trying to stem inside, get his helmet inside so Houston can't get involved. And Houston just runs him down the line. I think I give you the end zone angle, gets involved in the play. Active guy, man. It's not all about sacks. The game is complete. You have to be able to play the run and the pass. If you can't play the run, then when you're on the field, they're just going to run at you. And Houston has everything. He's not of the quality at this point of impact of a Terrell Suggs in his prime and all of those guys, clearly. But he gives us a lot. Another run play away. And we just do a poor job of dealing with some of these blocks. And there ends up being a huge gap, here. But watch who the guy is that makes first contact. It's old Justin Houston running from behind and running it down. It's still a 7 or 8 yard gain. But I offer to you that if Justin Houston isn't the guy who makes contact here, this might be a touchdown. So he's a fantastic football player, even at this point in time. Correct me if I'm wrong. He had 4.5 sacks last year, right? Thank you. Let me track the chat for a second. Slim, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining. Don, what do the Ravens on defense need to do to destroy the Bengals? Let me address that as the stream goes on, if that's okay, Don. Here's hopefully you understood what I mean. I'll try to address that some because I think I have some pass rush of him against the Bengals. So run to him now. So the run action is going to be to him. They're going to pull this guard, and then the back's going to get the football. Watch this collision between Houston and this pulling guard. I don't know if that doesn't get you a little excited, like your personal connection to football is just different than mine. Doesn't mean better or worse. Like that right there is the name of the game, is taking on blocks. Yeah, he gets knocked back a little bit, but he's got a 325-pound guy pulling and making solid connection with him. But look at the pad level. He's able to absorb the blow, reset his feet, and then make the tackle along with Washington. He's just a solid fundamental guy. I love him being to the boundary, to be honest with you. Here he is to the field. He's going to wrong arm this one. So when I say wrong arm, he's going inside that blocker because he knows there's a safety blitz outside of him. So very aware player. You get the end zone angle of this one too. Wrong arms it, so basically that means he can play this inside gap. There still does end up being a gain here, but Justin Houston is someone who's versatile and does a lot for our defense that sometimes doesn't get pointed out. You have to have those dirty work guys. I think like you said earlier, Mr. Black God, dirty work guys that they help get the job done. This last run play I'll show you, and then I'll show the sexy stuff, the pass rush stuff, because that's normally what people want to see, is he don't have any force player outside of him, and Patrick Queen has blitzed and got pinned down inside. So normally, you would want your linebacker to be able to run over the top, but we blitz Queen. So Houston's got to maintain outside leverage, and clearly he's getting held. You will see the flag come up when I show you the all-22 view. So same play, he's right here. You'll see we blitz Queen. Just a bad blitz call to the boundary, if you ask me, with that backfield set. Clearly gets held. He does an excellent job against tackles on run plays. I don't have any fear at all of him taking on tackles. Deuce, what's up, man? Oh, yeah, Pernell McPhee was my guy. All right, pass rush stuff. This is all pass rush stuff now. He's going to be up here. And he's not a guy who relies on the speed rush as much as other players. I think he's very complete, but I love his hand usage. But in any case, you can see, capable of beating tackles to the outside, has the elite athleticism even at his age. Is he 37? Is that what he is? Unbelievable that he can still play at that high level. Over here, right-hand side, end zone angle. I'll pause this a little bit so you can see the hand move that he gives. And the swipe, and then the swat. Look at how deft that is, man. I mean, it's fun to watch some of these moves sometimes with these really elite pass rusher guys because their eyes are on the quarterback, but his hands have got to be making contact with the lineman in a particular place. He's younger than that, Deuce? Okay. Ocho, what's up, man? Thank you for joining the stream again. I don't know if that was his 100th sack. I don't think it was. I think that was in the Miami game. All right, he gave this guy problems. He gave this guy right here problems early in the game. Yolanda, good morning. Thank you for joining. I did not 33 Deuce. I did not know that. Wow. I thought he was older. I believe you. First of all, I believe you, but I did not know that. He gave this guy 73 problems early in the game. The Bengals did a nice job of adjusting certain things late. But Justin Houston likes to establish the inside move. Now, this is later in the game. This is not one of the first plays, okay? He likes to establish the inside move, sorry. So trying to go into the B gap. The first play of the game, I will show you that in a moment. He likes to establish the inside move and then use this like half-man bull rush when he gets the lineman kind of committed to the inside gap. That's not necessarily what happens here. I'm just explaining to you what I think I've noticed early in games. He likes to use an inside move, and then this is his second move, his counter off of the go-to move. And you can see I think he had 4 QB hits on Burrow. He was our only guy with multiple quarterback hits in that game in Week 7, if I remember. And I will show you some more plays from that Bengals game in a moment. We got to get pass rush on him, obviously. Every move that he does doesn't work, obviously. The one thing I like about Houston is he doesn't betray his responsibility. There are some rushers, just so you know, I do actually know 2 people that played in the NFL, played defensive line, and both of them have said, not to me, but to other people I know, both of them have said, there are guys who get out here and all they care about is their sacks. And so sometimes they'll betray the the gap that they're supposed to be in terms of their rush, because all they're worried about is a sack. Sometimes when a guy dives inside, the quarterback recognizes that because, they've taken pass drops millions of times in their life and then is able to break contain. Sometimes you lose, like on this rep here, PFF, I guess, would call this a loss. He is getting some push back, and then the guard chips down on him. I'm offering to you that Houston is a guy who, even when he loses, is still in the spot that he should be in for the structure of the defense. Now, why am I showing this play? I'm not showing this play to talk about Odafe Oweh. I'm showing it to make my point, which is Justin Houston isn't going to do selfish things and end up inside, which if he did that on this play, the point I was trying to make was Patrick Mahomes could have scrambled out the other direction, and then this interception to Odafe Oweh may not ever occur. I'm not saying Justin Houston made the play here at all. I'm illustrating to you he's a team-first guy who does not care if he gets 10 sacks in a season or 4.5. I think he cares more about the team playing solid defense, and that's really what matters. Hopefully that makes sense. I have Taurus. What's up, man? Give me a second. I'll read your chat comment. Houston here on the left side. This is another example of what I'm talking about. This is a third down play where Anthony Averett gets a pass defended against Tyreek Hill. And as Patrick Mahomes is throwing this football, you can see his feet are not set. He's throwing the ball while he's moving forward in the direction he's throwing. All right, I'm going to pull this back here in a moment so you can see it again. It ends up being a pass defensed by Anthony Averett, good coverage on Tyreek Hill, and we get a stop. All right, but let me pull this back to the rush because this is related to the point I was trying to make on the last play. Houston's doing an outside rush. He's swatting with the inside hand and the outside hand. Doesn't win, quote unquote, but what he does is he gets Mahomes off his spot. Mahomes has to come forward. What I'm pointing out to you is that sometimes the end of a play is related to something small that a person did earlier in that play defensively. Hopefully I'm making that point. The Oweh play where Mahomes throws a horrible interception to Tavon Young, Houston stayed where he was supposed to be, and a very good thing happened for us, a second and a half later. This same play here, in my opinion, Justin Houston didn't cause the pass defense, but he caused Mahomes to step up and throw the ball from this position, not as much lower body strength in the throw at all. There are underrated small things that I think Justin Houston does that we don't talk about, that aren't graded by those grading agencies, whatever, that certainly aren't talked about on ESPN and NFL Network. But there's small things that Justin Houston does that if you have 11 guys doing all of those small things, you can be a very, very good defense. Let me know what you all think of those points that I'm making. I'm not making excuses for the pass rush situations that he didn't win on. I'm just showing you a guy who is a professional, a consummate professional, and always in the right place. Every pass rush isn't a win, obviously, and I like to try to show some of the ones that are not wins. I feel like of his moves, he's generally got, 3 moves. One is an inside rush inside the B gap. The other is that kind of half-man bull rush to the outside. And the third one is the one that I showed you against the Chiefs where he's got, some type of hand movement. And then, let's call it a speed rush. So in my opinion, I don't want to say weakest. In my opinion, the one that has the less impact is his speed outside rush, even though that's the one that he has his most sacks on from 2021. I really, really like that rush there, even though he didn't get a sack and probably didn't get a win according to the ratings. Another outside rush, he just out-athletes this left tackle, to be honest with you. Really doesn't do much other than long arm. And look at this tackle's arms. He's like opened his arms up like a bear hug. He's like giving up his chest, and Houston just presses him in with his inside arm, and it's an easy sack. I think he actually hurt the quarterback here, unfortunately. Hopefully that guy's returned to full health because I think it was a knee injury. Forced fumble. That may have actually been his 100th sack. You guys let me know, what you think of the plays I'm showing you for Houston. I am one of those people who thinks that he's a huge signing. I think he's a huge signing for us. And I think, is he going to give us 30 snaps per game? Is he going to give us 50 snaps per game? I don't know, but the snaps he's going to give us are going to be good ones. They're going to be things where he impacts the play. I've shown you 2 of them where he didn't make the play. I think this is a third one. The running back is assigned to chip him and then run out into the flats. Houston doesn't get a sack, doesn't probably get a quarterback pressure, but he is there to force the quarterback to throw the ball maybe a little bit sooner than he wanted to. It ends up being a big gain anyway. Yes, great point, Big Rig. Absolutely. Veterans usually provide that. Yep. All right, these are going to be his inside moves now. All right, I've shown you the bull rush stuff, and I've shown you the stuff where he's swatting with his outside arm, and then so essentially a speed rush with some move attached to it. Now these are going to be his inside moves. This is what I feel like he uses early in games. Now here he's got this guy on a half step, almost oversetting a little bit, and then beats him back inside to flush the quarterback out of the pocket. Great play by Owe, and then a crazy play by Drew Lock. I think this ball actually ends up being completed. So that's a sick play by Owe and the quarterback. Houston's effective with these rushes. He gets people to move out of the pocket. Are we going to be using the same technique with Owe next year, whereby he's being asked to be this quarterback spy? I hope not. I hope we let him rush. I don't know what you think. Sorry, I'm not tracking the chat as much. I've got two computer screens going, so I'll try to check the chat here in a moment. Someone had asked, I think it was Don, about what can we do with the Bengals? We've got to win some of these pass rush situations, and I think the Bengals O-line is probably going to be better next year, to be real. I didn't think the right tackle, Riley Reef, was real solid last year. I got some pushback on that in a couple of videos. And Houston actually did a great job against this left tackle early, but the Bengals adjusted, to be honest with you. And I will show you that in this video. So this is early in the game. This might be the first play of the game. Huge hit on Burrow. The running back, goes right past Houston. Huge hit. You want to do that to Burrow 10 times next year in each game, right? We want to be able to attack him, make him feel, our pressure. We had too many times last year where we were trying to pressure and no one got there. Now this is later on in the game. You can see a different running back in. I think this is Perrine. He's looking over here. He sees the same stunt coming. Okay, on that last stunt, Houston went inside to the B gap and the safety blitzed off the edge. Tackle took the safety. And no one took Justin Houston. This time, the Bengals made the adjustment, and the tackle takes him here, and then the running back takes Deshaun Elliott on the safety blitz off the edge. So the Bengals were able to adjust to some of the things that we did repeatedly. And Justin Houston, however, what I'm trying to point out is he's versatile enough to do all of the things that an outside linebacker or a D-end is asked to do. All right, a couple more concepts here, and then we'll do some Josh Bynes film. Yeah, Big Reg, I agree, man. The preseason's going to be fun, isn't it? Not to see guys like Houston play, but some of the young guys. Yeah, Don, I like how you didn't type the word out. You just typed the letter I. All right, Houston is over here. I showed you guys some run plays away earlier. I know some of you joined a little later. So I showed you a lot of plays where the running back was going away from Justin Houston, and he was able to, sit for a moment, see that the running back has the ball, and then track down the line of scrimmage and make the tackle. I think I showed 3 or 4 of those. Now, these are going to be pass plays where there's action away from him. Now, of course, this is the play where he gets a penalty. All right. I guess he does grab the back of the jersey, whatever. It's still a sack, a play that he made. He doesn't get credit for the sack, obviously. But there's a lot going on here. You've got the running back going away. You got all the linemen going away, right? But Houston is not distracted by any of that. He's just looking for the football. He's looking for who has the football. Quarterback still has the football. He's got the explosiveness to put his foot in the ground and attack the quarterback. That's the point. This is a video about what Justin Houston can do for us in 2022. There's still more than enough athleticism. When he sees that he has to go, he can explode and go now and get there. There's more than enough athleticism. Guys, it wouldn't surprise me if he does end up with 8 or 10 sacks next year. It really would not, because we'll have better pass defense. A weird protection scheme by the Vikings on this one. I thought he played well in the Vikings game, even though he didn't have a ton of stats. I'm surprised he didn't get a penalty in today's NFL. I'm surprised he didn't get 2 penalties, actually. You can see the ball is up here, and he's making contact with the quarterback. Man, I don't know about you, but I watch the game now, and I worry about a penalty for us touching the quarterback at this point. But definitely gets a QB credit for QB pressure there because of swatting down at the quarterback. You can see when tight ends or, like I showed you earlier, slot receivers have to deal with him, they're physically not capable of dealing with him. I almost thought they were going to give us a penalty for contact to the head there. I'm tired of the NFL being so soft, to be honest with you. Big Reg, I agree, man. I can't wait to see the inside linebackers and the outside linebackers, the young guys. I want to see Dalen Hayes get more reps. Pull this back one more time. Some of these plays I'm showing you, you may say, well, Coach, he's not getting a sack. He's not getting many sacks. Well, yeah, he only had 4.5, but like one of the things I like to do with like TJ Watt and other guys when I watch film, look where Justin Houston is and look at the other guys that we have that are rushing. Like, there's times where people say things like, why didn't he have more sacks? Well, nobody else is near the quarterback on some of these plays where Justin Houston is at least impacting the play. So, if people judge Justin Houston harshly, what do you have to say about other people? He's here on an inside rush. He's on the same side as Bowser. You can see he's taking on the guard, and then he just redirects. He has very good eyes. Like, I did an appearance on Jason's show, Huddled Up Films. Jason's big on talking about the eyes of the player. Justin Houston has great eyes. He's always, not only is he physically always in the right place, but his eyes are always taking him, to where the ball goes or where his responsibility is. I don't know what you guys think. If you agree with the tone and tenor of my video here, he is a huge signing. And I think last year he played like 60 to 70% of the snaps in most of the games he was in. And I think it'll be about the same this year. There'll be possessions where he's off because we have Owe who's healthy, and when Bowser comes back, the Justin Houston signing might mean that we don't need to rush David Ojabo back nearly as quick. And I think that's what makes it really smart. Is that bringing Justin Houston back means we should make sure that Bowser and Ojabo are completely healthy before we let them return. We know that they're both competitors and they want to get out there and play, but that's what makes this a really brilliant signing, if you ask me. Not that he can play, not that he can still play, because he can, but also that it gives us enough depth to where those guys don't have to rush back. If we have Houston and Owe out there, and those guys are getting the majority of the reps for the first 6 weeks, how comfortable would you guys be? How comfortable would you be with just those two guys, being our main two guys, along with Dalen Hayes and, Beagle or Means or whoever else is there? I would be comfortable, to be honest with you. If that's all we had for the first 6 weeks. Orenthal, thank you for your comment. I agree. I will show Bynes' film in a moment. I'm just loading it up. Yeah, good point. Good point. We're learning from how we handled Stanley. Yep. Yeah, and who knows whose responsibility or whose fault that was. Responsibility and fault are two different things. We now have added responsibility to it to handle Bowser and Ojabo differently, based upon what happened to Stanley. I agree. Great point. Yolanda and Don, you'd be comfortable. Yeah, I would too. I would too. Again, I am going to show some Josh Bynes film. I am a huge fan of Josh Bynes. And it's okay if you don't share the same passion about how good of a football player he is. It's no problem. What I like to try to do is show small things that players do who maybe aren't stars, Justin Houston being one of them. So that this next part of the video is going to be of the same tone and tenor, to be honest with you, as the last one. I think Bynes is underrated. And I think in some ways we have been missing guys like Ray Lewis for a long time. We have pieces of Ray Lewis in Josh Bynes. What I mean by that is recognition and the ability to help other people get in the right place. I think that the guy he helps the most is Patrick Queen for whatever reason. Queen is more comfortable and plays with more explosiveness when Josh Bynes is on the field. So I don't have too many run reads in here, but you need to trust me on this. I could have shown about 14 or 18 plays like this from last year, where Josh Bynes fits the run concept perfectly. Just beautiful fit in terms of where he's supposed to be. They're running, a zone concept here to our right, their left. And so, you've got multiple things that the running back can do. To put it simply, some people talk about, you can bang it. Some people say, you can bounce it, or you can bend it back. Generally, only two of those options are going to be there on each run concept. In this one, I believe it's either bang it or bend it back. So he tries to bend this back. And as he does, you can see Bynes is in perfect position. Most of the time, we would want to be on the backside hip. So we would want to be even with the backside hip. So if you want to track Bynes and see where he is on these plays in relation to the backside hip of the running back, to me, he's always in the perfect spot. That's a rare skill. I don't know what you guys do in your professional life. If you're a painter, an artist, if you're a bricklayer, whatever, if you're a person who owns a restaurant, whatever it is in your profession, you would recognize the small things that people do that are brilliant. And I certainly don't have any experience near the NFL level, but I recognize some of the small things he does that are just make him really fun to watch. Another run fit. Yes, this is a 4 or 5 yard gain. No, Josh Bynes does not make the tackle. But there's something really underrated here that hopefully you can gather. I'll let it run one more time full speed, and I'll talk about it. It's called F counter, is what we would call it. Some people have different names for it. So you're pulling a guard who's kicking out the edge player, which is Ferguson. Then the H-back is pulling and wrapping. He's going to block the front side inside linebacker. So Bynes is actually going to be blocked by this tight end or H-back, okay? Here's the line of scrimmage, the 47. Watch where Bynes takes on this block. It's not Bynes' fault there's a 4-foot gap here. Guys, he's taking on this block behind the line of scrimmage. That's incredibly rare. Ravens 76, what's up? Don C, what'd you say every time you're on a stream people call? This is incredibly rare. To have this type of recognition, to take on the block in the backfield. That is, we used to have a saying, one of the guys I was blessed enough to coach around, if this is the line of scrimmage, he would say, we're going to be a really, really good defense if we take on blocks at the line of scrimmage. We're going to be 10-0. I'm talking about in the regular season. If we're taking on blocks, back here, We're going to be 5-5. Maybe this one here should be like 9-1. If we're taking on blocks, back here, then we're going to be 10-0 or 14-0, win a state title. Josh Bynes is one of those guys that gets it. He doesn't make the tackle. Queen and someone else, Bynes is involved. Queen and someone else are the guys responsible for the tackle. But it's not Bynes' problem that there's a pretty big gap here. Ferguson doesn't step down and really take on this lead blocker very violently at all. And Bynes is violent as hell. I don't know if those type things excite you, taking on blocks, but they do for me. Taking on the outside half of the guy, basically making it to where the running back can't go inside this gap here because that gap is too small and Queen could fill it. Forcing him to bring it back out, where Bynes can get involved. And, he doesn't finish the tackle because Nick Chubb breaks a lot of tackles, obviously. This one is extremely rare play. I have never seen something like this ever at any level where a linebacker takes one arm and frames out an offensive lineman. I've never seen this. I really have not. Basically just holds him off with one arm. And you have look at the huge gap that there is here. Were this running back to have the ability to cut this back, Josh Bynes is going to have an issue trying to make a tackle in space like that. We're blitzing the safety off the edge who impacts the play. Bynes basically pushes that lineman back into his other help defenders. Man, it's just awesome. Awesome play. Oh, that's awesome, Don. Congratulations. I did not know that. That's amazing. Being a small business owner or a large business owner is what makes the world go round. This is an incredibly aware play. You can't really practice this. They've thrown the ball backwards to a receiver in motion. Bynes mid-play is recognizing that this is an eligible receiver. It's a tight end. I forget the guy's name. So Bynes can't let him go. Bynes can't leave him and just attack because, they could throw the football to him. So he holds that guy until such time that the receiver commits to running the ball. It's a unique play. I hope you enjoy this one as much as I do. It goes down as a sack, I believe. It's a backwards pass to the receiver, so it's the design play. The Dolphins' offense was not very good last year. We know that. So they were using gimmick plays. They actually used 2 other gimmick plays to move the ball on a late touchdown drive. Bynes mid-play has the awareness. Look, right now he's looking at the quarterback / receiver, right? But look an instant before. Watch his helmet. Watch Bynes' helmet as I track this. He saw that there was someone out here. In this instant, he recognizes that is an eligible receiver. I need to stay with him. That's a level of awareness that is, in my opinion, incredibly rare. NFL players are extremely aware. They're very intelligent. They've played millions of snaps, so they have the ability to adjust mid-play. I'm offering to you that this is even another level for NFL players. And it's okay if you don't have the same level of appreciation for Bynes as I do. He's not a Hall of Fame football player. He's not even a Pro Bowler. But there are small things he does well that a lot of other people don't. And I'm trying to be the messenger that shows you some of the small things he does. And hopefully, shine a little bit of a light on how good of a player he is. Now, this is a great play by Queen. On this play, when you get the end zone angle, you'll see these two had switched sides. Okay, they had switched sides. It's going to be a play action where the fullback goes out into the flats, and then this tight end runs, like I call it an over concept. All right? Queen is going to go defend the fullback. Watch what Bynes does, though, with the tight end. He holds him. I mean, if you're the type of person who's like, that's a hold, they should call that. I mean, then I don't know how much basketball or football you've played, because this is just part of the game. That right there is just part of the game. It's just a little grab to slow that guy down and then catapult himself underneath. And another thing, Bynes' eyes are always in the right place, just like Houston. And that's what's so great about having those two back, along with Calais Campbell. I know I'm not tracking the chat much, so I'm going to pause it here in a moment. Godson, good morning. Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be a great season. Yolanda, I agree. All right, so you can see they've switched sides. Watch how quickly Bynes recognizes this. He recognizes it now, guys. That was 2 steps, all right? He recognizes it right now, and that because he sees the tight end trying to cross his face. Cross his face means go in front of Bynes so that Bynes could actually see him. Going behind him would not be crossing his face. So one of the tenets that you have is don't let a guy cross your face without making contact with him. And then watch his eyes. He knows that in order for the tight end to catch the football, he's going to have to put his hands up, or the tight end's helmet, face mask, eyes are going to have to look back at the quarterback. So Bynes doesn't need to stop and look at the quarterback. He's just tracking the tight end. That is not an easy thing to do. Malik Harrison and Patrick Queen had a lot of trouble with that last year. Queen did a much better job on situations like this, playing the fullback out into the flats. And Queen recognizes it pretty quick. I offer to you that before Josh Bynes was in the starting lineup, Patrick Queen might not have made that play. And it's okay if you disagree. I think he's fast enough. I think he's fast enough to get the job done. Here's Bynes here. And this time he's guarding the running back. And that's Dalvin Cook, who's pretty fast. It's a 4 or 5 yard gain, yeah. It's a great play, though. Tavon, at times, was a little undisciplined with certain things. He ends up with his back turned. Tavon Young should be here right now. This is a zone. So this is an example of covering up for someone else's mistake. This is the zone. Tavon Young should be pushing this receiver in and then letting that receiver pass him off essentially to the safety, but make physical contact with him first. But he should not be turning being Tavon, should not be turning his back to where he can't see anything else that happens down here. Hopefully that makes sense the way I explained it. You can see he ends up with his back. Let me do that again. Sorry. Apologize if the video's choppy on your end. He should not have his back turned when he's playing zone right now. He should be able to run out into the flats. So like Josh Bynes, just what he did there, he covered up a zone that Tavon Young should have been defending. And I'm a huge Tavon Young fan, so in no way am I criticizing him saying he wasn't a good player. I'm just saying on this particular play, he was not in the zone that he should defend. Josh Bynes from an inside-out position just made a great solo tackle on a guy probably 10 or 11 years younger than him and Dalvin Cook. Maybe not 10 years younger, maybe 6. You guys can let me know, if you think that play was as impressive as I do. Oh man, Big Reg, do it. Start your own electrical company. That'd be awesome. I currently do not work for anyone else. I work for myself. So I applaud anybody who does that. It's not easy. So I applaud you, Don. All right, so are you guys getting good audio here still? Because it looks like I'm having an issue. This is an incredibly aware play by Bynes. Hopefully I can do it justice with the explanation. First of all, he's getting on the field late. This is a 3rd down. He was not on the field on the 2nd down play, I don't believe. Are you guys hearing me okay? Because I'm getting a notification that copy. All right, cool. He wasn't on the field on the previous play. I've broken this down many times. He's telling Chris Board what to do. He had just told, I think, Chuck Clark or Tavon Young what to do. He's coming on. He's telling Board something, and he's saying something in here as well. And the route combinations here, they're trying to bait Bynes into coming up so they can throw over him. So the final route was intended for, is this Williams, number 81? I believe it's Williams. Watch how they try to do this. I think this is Williams here, guys. There's going to be a whole bunch of eye candy underneath here, okay? Eye candy is stuff in here. What they're trying to do is make Bynes come up and then throw this route over the top of him. Bynes doesn't fall for it. You've got a little shallow drag. First you got a vertical here, and you got a little shallow drag here. So they're trying to get Bynes to come up and then throw over the top of him. It's like a 3rd and 7. Almost makes a pick. Yeah, you'd like him to catch the football. That's true. But, we just got to stop on a 3rd and 7. I'm not sure, JT. I think it depends on how he progresses this year. If Patrick Queen plays a full season next to Josh Bynes, it'll be his best season he's ever played. There's the underneath route there. And then you also have the running back checking up in the middle here. So there's 2 different pieces of eye candy for Josh Bynes to possibly, get hung up with. And he doesn't do so. And it's just a beautiful play. I don't know if you share my appreciation for that one. If you don't, it's just because I'm not explaining it well enough to point it out to you, because that's just a fantastic football play. That is teaching tape for an inside linebacker. If you were a cook, that's a perfectly made steak with just the right amount of pink in there. Like, that is a exquisite football play that guy just delivered one snap after not being on the field. That's the thing that makes it really unique. I'm sorry I haven't been tracking the chat a ton. I have 2 computers set up, so I'm looking at the screen where I'm, showing the film. There's Bynes there. Underrated play. Takes away the slant, which was Justin Herbert's first read. Of course, it is a completion to the running back. But what makes this play unique is Bynes does this without ever looking out here at the receiver, which is normally what he does on pass drops. Watch Bynes' face mask and helmet. He's looking at the quarterback the whole time. He's just reading his eyes. Bynes is capable of doing this and being in the right spot. Not every linebacker is capable of doing that. What I mean by that is, generally, Bynes is going to use his helmet, his face mask, his eyes to turn and look out at the receiver. But he identifies this is what will be known as 3-step drop. 1, 2, 3. Herbert is ready to throw. So he's just tracking his eyes and trying to get in the passing lane. Of course, it is completed. I offer to you that Josh Bynes, other linebackers might have given up this slant, especially when they began the play lined up near to the line of scrimmage. You notice he's up at the line of scrimmage faking a blitz. A lot of other linebackers would not have been able to get back in this position to take away that slant. Hopefully the way I explained that makes sense. This is a completion to the sideline in zone. So Josh Bynes did not make a play, but I want you to pay attention. Watch the difference here. So 3-step drop was the last play. Let me show it one more time. 3-step drop means the quarterback's getting set to throw quickly. All right? Typically, fundamentally, it would be 1, 2, 3 steps. Herbert's steps are a little bit different here, but still a 3-step concept, okay? Because he false stepped a little bit with his left foot. But sometimes quarterbacks do that for whatever reason. Bynes looking at the quarterback the whole time. Now watch the next play. This is a deeper drop by the quarterback, meaning Kirk Cousins is going to be deeper in the pocket when he goes to throw the football. Now watch Bynes' eyes look for work. He does what's called find work. If there's no work in your area, find some. I'm saying to you that Patrick Queen kind of took the eye candy, meaning this is the eye candy here. Now the ball's already out. All right, the ball's already out. Queen If Bynes is not doing this, this might have been a deeper completion that goes for a huge gain. And the key element to this that what I'm trying to do is illustrate again, he's covering up an area that's not his area to cover up. Typically, Bynes' pass drop will be in this direction. Queen's pass drop would be in that direction. You'll see Bynes is tracking the quarterback's eyes and then goes in that direction. He's technically not supposed to be where he is. He's now turning his face mask to look at the receiver, get underneath of the route, take it away, and Cousins, of course, throws it to the running back underneath. It's still like a 5-yard gain. I'm hopefully showing you guys that there's things that Justin Houston and Josh Bynes do that are underrated. There's things that they do that helps their teammates, helps the team defense concept. Again, you can see he recognizes the running back doesn't have the football, turns his helmet, and now he's looking at that deeper route that is not, the ball's not targeted, the ball's not thrown there. But if Josh Bynes was not in this position, the ball could have been thrown there. It would have been a more open receiver than it is. Let's put it that way. Hopefully you agree. Maybe not an All-Pro, maybe not a Pro Bowl guy. I think there are elements that he offers that no other linebacker on our team offers, even in 2022 at his age. If he doesn't make 70-plus tackles this year, that will surprise me. The recognition of what's happening is elite here. It's a screen play. Nick Chubb is going to go out to block, and watch what Bynes does. He fits behind Chubb's block perfectly and gets a tackle for loss. You'll get the end zone angle too. Sorry, I had to get a drink. Empty formation, so there's no running back here. So it's not like Bynes has to, really read anything. So he's reading Chubb. He's looking right at Chubb. And the fit is just perfect, man. The fit is perfect. Athletic move by Washington, too, for a D lineman. I hope to do another one of these on some of these interior D linemen that we have who can play and contribute. I think Washington's still on the roster, right? He was a pretty good player last year. He did some good things. Oh, Madubuike, Brent. First of all, Brent, thank you for commenting. Thank you for joining the stream. Madubuike is a monster. Nobody's talking about him. I expect a big year from him. I can show you guys plays against Green Bay that are incredible. I'll load that up in a minute. I got about another 10 minutes. Another underneath pass. And look, Bynes gets a little bit too much width here, to be honest with you. Width meaning, he gets slightly wider than I would like. But he understands the concept. Guys, he's playing for an interception. What's happening here is Herbert is getting his drop. And as he's getting his drop, he's reading Bynes. So there's 3 routes here. There's this vertical, which I believe is just a clear-out route. Then there's just this little angled hook by this receiver. And then the third part of this is the late sit by this running back here. So he's trying to find out what Bynes does. Is Bynes going to stretch too much? Is Bynes going to run vertical with this guy? There's a lot going on here in one small, quick play. Bynes expands a little bit much, and he completes it on the backside. But in my opinion, Bynes knows the route. Bynes is trying to expand late and have Herbert throw the football. I think he was baiting Herbert there, and you'll get the end zone angle to see. Sometimes it doesn't work. Here's Bynes here. I think he knows the route combination that's coming just from film study, and I believe he's trying to bait Herbert into throwing this little angled hook to number 1 and get a pick. You can see his eyes have flashed back here. Whoops. He's looking out. He's looking through number 2. This is the number 2 receiver. And he's looking for number 1. Number 1 hooks up. And now he's looking back here, looking for the ball to be thrown. I've got... And Herbert gets a completion, to the running back. So, yeah, he expanded a little too wide. I think he's playing for the interception there, to be perfectly honest with you. Give me one moment. I've got about 6 or 7 more minutes. I can load up a Madubuike thing real quick. I'm going to show you 2 plays of Madubuike, maybe 3. Give me 1 second. Do you think Madubuike is going to be able to start for us? They might not let him start, but they probably should. All right, my apologies. Took me a minute. Hopefully this loads up. Let me know when you guys got the video of Madubuike being spot shadowed. I'm going to try to give you maybe 2 or 3 of these plays of him. Totally agree, Big Reg. Totally agree. All right, so Madubuike's here. Watch what he does to this guard to disrupt this play. And then also gets involved in the tackle. There is a push that Madubuike gets that is rare. There's a rare amount of explosiveness in him and ability to redirect. So he's here. I am going to go back to the all-22 in a minute. Watch the vertical push that he gets on this guard. This is an NFL offensive lineman that he's able to just dislodge. And then the technique here is fun to watch. For me, hopefully it's fun to watch for you. He's basically, look at his pad level, his shoulder, compared to this tackle. He has dislodged this tackle and basically lifted him up to the point now where he can redirect inside and make the tackle. He played a great game against Minnesota, guys. Go back and look at the stats. It was an impactful game as far as the stats, but there were plays like this that were incredibly rare. I've got to switch over to another play, so for a moment, you guys are going to get a picture, so my apologies. I'm going to have to do that a couple of times. All right, again, against Minnesota. Here he is. It's not a play that he makes, but he manhandles these guards. Look at the bend that he's got in his frame, but he's still able to maintain strength. And once he puts his foot in the ground here, watch him toss this guard over here. And he did this probably 6 or 8 times last year on different plays where he basically just destroys the posture of the guard. Now we've got, another Raven being double teamed. So, Madubuike's not able to make the play. But look, just so you know, this run concept is designed to hit right here, somewhere around in there, or for the running back to cut it back. I'm offering to you that it can't go here on this track. Why? Because Justin Madubuike is winning his block. He's winning his matchup. And he's someone who can win matchups, man, that he wins them in a way that other guys don't always win them. Running back cuts it back. Oh, by the way, guess who fits it perfect? Take a guess. I hope people don't get tired of me talking about how good Josh Bynes is in 2022. But that's just perfect technique, perfect fit, and the team element to this is Bynes wouldn't have been able to redirect so clean if Madubuike wasn't winning over here. That's my opinion. Other people may have a different evaluation of it. I can show one more play of him. What's up, DJ? DJ from Twitter, right? I gotta throw a picture up just to I have to throw a picture up to get this video out. All right, sorry. This is going to be the last one I show, guys. Oh, I agree, DJ. Houston coming back is a huge sign. In the first half of this stream, DJ was about Houston and then Bynes. And then this one is, watch the bend that he gets in his body, but he's able to maintain strength. And this is the part that to me makes, of course they practice this, right? I mean, they practice these blocks. They practice reading and recognizing these blocks. But watch the bend he gets in his body and is still able to begin to move in this direction with an NFL lineman draped all over him. Now, he doesn't make the tackle. This is the play that I showed you, earlier in the Josh Bynes segment. So the run action is going to be this way with the line. Madubuike's here. Bynes is the one who makes the tackle. But what I'm saying to you is it's another illustration of a guy making a small play, a difference of maybe 1.5 to 2 feet of his helmet, and then someone else gets credit for the tackle because of the team defense element to what Madubuike does. What they're trying to do is combo him with 2 guys. They're basically trying to get this guy's head on this side of Madubuike. But everybody's moving in this direction, right? It's a zone concept. So when I say he's trying to get his helmet to the side, it's not going to happen in here. It's going to be happening over here because everyone's moving. That's the whole point of the concept. Madubuike's got this guy's right arm in his chest, right? 52. And then 74 is taking him on with his left arm, his right arm, his face mask, and the upper part of his chest. And Madubuike is strong enough and explosive enough to bend his body. Yeah, he's hooking the guy. That's the right way to do it. And he's able to stay in that gap. So that's called front side. Some people would play the back side of it and let Bynes go over the top. He's able to maintain his gap integrity. He's a special talent, guys. I can't exaggerate it. I can't say it enough, man. Let me. I'll track the chat for a minute, and then I'll be honest with you guys. I got to get going. DJ, thank you for joining late, man. Big Reg, thank you for saying that. We should have 47 likes. I'm going to cut the stream in a couple of minutes here. Yep. Madubuike should be playing 40, 45 snaps a game. Maybe more. Madubuike and Jones. Yeah, Brent, I did a video on Madubuike on my other channel. It might be on my channel. I'll link it on Twitter if you're on Twitter. Or I'll put it in the. I know you're in the Discord, Brent. So I'll post it up in the Discord. Madubuike is a monster. Needs to play more. But, we got Travis Jones. We got Michael Pierce. I like Washington. I believe Washington's still on the roster. Clearly, Calais Campbell's got to get some reps, but we should be able to minimize Calais Campbell's snaps so that he can, be healthy the whole season. A healthy Calais Campbell is still a devastating force. We have if you ask me, yeah, our secondary is real good, but day one or week one of the season, it might be our interior D-line that's the best group on our defense. For real. We have so many guys that can have an impact. If you guys don't mind, thank you, Yolanda. I really appreciate that. And just so you know, and I don't know if I say this enough, like for me personally, when I do a stream or any video and I read the chat comments, I get to learn things too because people might point out something that an element to the play that I didn't point out or something I missed because it's 22 people out there. So sometimes you focus on two or three guys and you miss something else that's happening, on the play. So just like you say, you learn from something. Believe me, I do too. So thank you. It's a two-way conversation. Yeah, Isaiah Mack is underrated, man. Ravens be more. I totally agree. Isaiah Mack is underrated. Is he even on the roster though? I looked at the roster and I didn't think I saw him on there. CBG, did I miss a comment of yours? You said, cool, we will see. It seems like I missed a comment. Oh, Madubuike will be a beast. I totally agree. JT787, thank you for commenting often. Yeah, totally agree, man. The interior D-line rotation is going to be awesome. Awesome. Michael Crawford, yeah, what's up, man? I didn't see your chat earlier. Yep, he did. You're definitely right. There was things that, great way to put it, Michael. There was things that Madubuike did that I didn't see, necessarily live, but then maybe watching it that night or the next morning, I was like, oh wow, I didn't notice that. Like that last play I just showed from a Minnesota game, where Bynes makes the tackle, but Madubuike really, really made the play by, maintaining that A gap, staying in his A gap because A gap moves. And Madubuike has the bulk, the strength, and the explosiveness to move with the gap. That's really what it comes down to. Thank you. Appreciate it, Tanja. Don, thank you, man. Always appreciate you commenting first. Don's usually the first person to comment. I'm just trying to go back into chat some. Yeah, I'm not moving back. It doesn't really matter to me who wears the green dot. Like, just to be real, like if you were going to put the green dot on someone for one play, if you have one play to either win or lose the game, Josh Bynes is going to be wearing a green dot. He is for that play. But the problem is he's not going to be on the field every snap. So, it's probably going to have to go to someone else. Yeah, Big Reg, I'm not sure. I just don't think that Harrison or anyone that we have at inside linebacker is going to be able to be better than Josh Bynes at this point. I really don't. But they could. I mean, and if they are, then that'd be great because that means they've improved. But last year there was a huge gap between Bynes on the field and those guys, or Bynes not on the field in our defense. I'll have a video on Calais Campbell done in the next 2 or 3 days. Appreciate you guys checking out the stream. I've got to roll. I'll be doing this on Saturday mornings, to be honest with you, during the season, and Saturday nights will be in my Discord, which is a part of my Patreon. But Saturday mornings, I hope to stream for an hour and a half every Saturday morning for you guys. If you're interested, if you like the video, and you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing and or sharing it on social media to help my videos get more views and support all Ravens content creators because they all do a great job. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. I got to get going. If you have an idea for next Saturday's stream, let me know. I want to do one of these every Saturday morning in the off season to get people trained, to join my stream every Saturday. Obviously I want to have as many people watching as possible. Take care, guys. I appreciate y'all's time.